What if the universe wasn't a silent, empty void, but a living, conscious mind? What if every star that burns in the night sky, every leaf that unfurls in the spring, and every thought that flickers through your own awareness were all part of a single divine symphony? And what if I told you that the sheet music for this cosmic opera was written down thousands of years ago, not in a book of laws, but on a single enigmatic tablet of emerald? This is the promise of the Hermetic tradition, a stream of wisdom that flows like a secret river beneath the great deserts of human history. It whispers of a time when gods and mortals walked a closer path, and the secrets of creation were not mysteries to be solved, but truths to be lived. Its legendary founder, Hermes Trismegistus, the thrice great, was known as the scribe of the gods, a master of both the world above and the world below. His teachings, jealously guarded by the initiates of ancient Egypt, secretly studied in the hallowed halls of Alexandrian libraries, and resurrected by the Magi of the Renaissance, are not a relic of a bygone age. They are a living, breathing technology of the soul. In this journey together, we will not merely recount history. We will pull back the veil. We will decode the allegories and unlock the 7 master keys that form the very foundation of this sacred science. We will explore how these timeless principles are not abstract philosophies, but potent, practical tools that can fundamentally reshape your perception of reality, granting you the power to consciously sculpt the world within, and by extension, the world without. Prepare to awaken the part of you that already knows these truths. Prepare to unveil the wisdom of Hermes. To trace the origins of Hermeticism is to follow a river to its source, a source that vanishes into the mists of legend. The tradition speaks of a master teacher, Hermes Trismegistus, a figure who was not one man, but a personification of divine intellect itself. In the crucible of ancient Alexandria, where the wisdom of Egypt, Greece, and the Orient converged, the Egyptian god of wisdom, Thoth, was syncretized with his Greek counterpart, Hermes, the messenger of the gods. He became the thrice great, a master of the physical, emotional, and spiritual planes of existence, a living bridge between humanity and the divine. He was the keeper of the mysteries, and his wisdom was said to be inscribed upon pillars of stone and tablets of emerald to survive any cataclysm, be it of fire or flood. The most sacred of these texts form a collection known as the Corpus Hermeticum. These are not commandments or histories, but sublime dialogues of initiation. They capture the intimate exchange between a master, a poimandres, or shepherd of men, and a disciple hungry for truth. For over 1,000 years, these writings were lost to the Western world, a forgotten key. Their dramatic rediscovery in the 15th century sent a shockwave through Renaissance Europe. Cosimo de' Medici, the great patron of Florence, commanded his leading scholar Marsilio Ficino to halt his translation of Plato's dialogues and immediately translate the Corpus Hermeticum instead. Why? Because they believed they had found the Prisca Theologia, the pristine theology. They saw it as the original uncorrupted fountainhead of all spiritual wisdom, a universal truth from which even Plato and the prophets had drunk. This rediscovery ignited a fire in the minds of the era's greatest thinkers, artists, and mystics. But as the ages turned and the world grew more literal and less magical, this sacred science once again retreated from the public eye. It became the secret heart of alchemy, the philosophical soul of Rosicrucianism, and a guiding light for esoteric orders. It influenced the work of giants like Isaac Newton, who spent more time poring over alchemical texts than he did on the laws of motion, seeking the spiritus mundi, the world soul described in the Hermetic teachings. This is not merely a historical footnote. It is the story of a golden chain of transmission, a torch of illumination passed carefully from hand to hand, through darkness and persecution, waiting for the moment when the world would be ready to listen once more. The secrets were never truly lost, only hidden in plain sight, encoded in symbol, myth, and the very fabric of nature itself. The first and most profound of these is the principle of mentalism. It proclaims, the all is mind, the universe is mental. This is the master key upon which all others hang. It posits that the underlying substance of the entire cosmos, in its infinite diversity, is a single, universal living mind. Think of it this way. Consider a vivid dream. Within that dream, you can experience an entire world. It has people, places, laws of physics. It feels completely real. Yet what is it all made of? It is all woven from the fabric of a single substance, your consciousness. The dream world and everything in it is a mental creation. Hermeticism teaches that our waking reality is of the same nature. We and the entire universe are as thoughts held within the infinite mind of the All. We are not separate from our Creator. We are expressions of it, just as a character in a dream is an expression of the dreamer. This principle dissolves the illusion of separation and reveals that consciousness is the ultimate cause, not the effect, of the physical world. From this foundation flows the second key, the principle of correspondence. Its axiom is, as above, so below, as below, so above. This is the secret of true understanding. It reveals that there is a perfect harmony and analogy between the different planes of existence. The patterns of the cosmos are mirrored in the patterns of your life. The laws that govern the orbits of galaxies also govern the cycles of your own mind and spirit. It is the wisdom of the fractal, where a single, elegant formula repeats itself at every level of scale, from the branching of a lightning bolt to the neural pathways in your brain, from the structure of a single atom to the form of a solar system. This principle tells us that we do not need to ascend to heaven to understand the divine. By studying ourselves, our thoughts, our bodies, our world, we can come to know the universe. To truly know yourself is to know the All. It transforms the world from a random collection of objects into a living library of symbols, where every event, every form, every coincidence holds a deeper meaning. The third principle, the principle of vibration, breathes life into this cosmic structure. It states, nothing rests, everything moves, everything vibrates. Modern science has triumphantly proven this ancient maxim, discovering that from the smallest quantum particle to the largest supercluster of galaxies, everything is in a state of perpetual motion. But Hermeticism takes this further. It teaches that the differences between the various manifestations of matter, energy, mind, and even spirit are simply the result of varying rates of vibration. Consider the spectrum of light. A low vibration gives us infrared, while a higher vibration gives us ultraviolet. Both are light, but their properties are vastly different. In the same way, a rock is a form of energy vibrating at an incredibly low and dense frequency. A thought is a vibration at a much higher, more subtle frequency. And the All, or pure spirit, is a vibration so infinitely intense and rapid that it appears to be perfectly still, like a spinning top that seems motionless at its peak velocity. Understanding this principle is the first step toward true alchemy. Not the turning of lead into gold, but the transmutation of our own mental vibrations, from fear to courage, from hatred to love, from chaos to harmony. The ceaseless vibration of existence gives rise to the fourth key, the principle of polarity. This law declares, everything is dual, everything has poles, everything has its pair of opposites. At first glance, this might seem obvious. We live in a world of light and shadow, hot and cold, love and hate. But the Hermetic secret is this: these opposites are not two different things. They are merely two extremes of the same thing, identical in nature but differing only in degree, in vibration. Where, on a thermometer, does hot cease to be and cold begin? They are simply degrees on a single scale of temperature. So it is with all things. Love and hate are not separate forces. They are two poles of the same emotional spectrum. Courage and fear are two ends of the same scale of inner fortitude. This understanding is the key to true mental alchemy. For if opposites are the same, then they can be transmuted. By the power of the will, one can consciously change the polarity of their own thoughts, sliding the scale from fear towards courage, from apathy towards passion, transforming the lead of a negative emotion into the gold of a virtuous state. Building upon this is the fifth principle, the principle of rhythm. It asserts, everything flows out and in, everything has its tides, all things rise and fall. This is the universal pendulum, a measured swing from one pole to the other that manifests in all things. The tide recedes, but it will return. Empires rise, and they inevitably fall. The joy of success is followed by the quiet introspection of stillness. It is the inhale and exhale of the cosmos. To the uninitiated, this principle can feel like a sentence to perpetual cycles of fate. But the master knows the higher art. They cannot stop the pendulum, for its swing is law. However, by using the principle of polarity, they can learn to rise above its return swing. This is the art of neutralization. By achieving a higher state of consciousness, one can polarize themselves at the point of desired being and consciously hold their position, allowing the negative swing of the pendulum to occur on a lower plane beneath them without being swept away by it. They achieve a state of dynamic equilibrium, participating in life's rhythm without becoming its victim. This leads us to the sixth key, the inexorable principle of cause and effect. Its axiom: every cause has its effect, every effect has its cause. Nothing is born from nothing. There is no such thing as luck or chance. These are but names for laws that are not yet recognized. Every single thought you think, every word you speak, every action you take is a cause that will ripple outwards and create a corresponding effect. Most of humanity are carried along by this law, unconscious of its operation. They are effects, not causes. They are moved like pawns on a chessboard by heredity, environment, and the suggestions of those around them. They are the product of causes they did not consciously set in motion. The Hermeticist, however, strives to become a cause. By mastering their own inner world, their moods, their character, their mental polarity, they begin to operate from a higher plane of causation. They learn to plant the seeds they wish to see grow, to play the game with skill and understanding, rather than being swept across the board by an invisible hand. Finally, the seventh principle, which makes all creation possible, the principle of gender. Gender is in everything. Everything has its masculine and feminine principles. This must not be confused with physical sex. This is a universal cosmic law. It states that everything, on every plane, contains both masculine and feminine energies. The masculine principle is that of the will, projective, active, the seed of an idea, the initial impulse. The feminine principle is that of generation, receptive, nurturing, the fertile ground or womb in which ideas are gestated and brought into manifest form. Without the active impulse from the masculine, the feminine has nothing to create. Without the receptive womb of the feminine, the masculine impulse dissipates into nothingness. Creation is the sacred marriage of these two forces. In our own lives, our conscious mind is often the masculine, sending forth ideas and desires. Our subconscious mind is the feminine, which receives these seeds and works tirelessly to bring them into our physical reality. To create the life we desire, we must learn to harmonize this inner marriage, ensuring that the seeds we plant with our will are worthy of the powerful creative womb of our deeper mind. This profound knowledge would remain a mere curiosity if it could not be woven into the fabric of our lives. The Hermetic teachings are not meant for passive contemplation. They are a call to active co-creation. The principles are instruments, and your consciousness is the hand that wields them. Let us now explore how to move from theory to practice, from knowing the path to walking it. The most immediate and powerful application is the art of mental transmutation, using the principles of polarity and vibration. When you find yourself in the grip of a negative emotion, be it anxiety, anger, or despair, do not resist it. Resistance only gives it more power. Instead, first, acknowledge it. Recognize it for what it is: a point on a scale, a specific rate of vibration. Then, invoke the principle of correspondence. Imagine your point of awareness, your true I, rising above the emotion. See the feeling as a storm cloud far below you. You are the sky, not the storm. From this detached, higher plane, you can begin the work. Identify the opposite pole. For fear, it is courage. For anger, it is peace. For scarcity, it is abundance. Do not fight the darkness. Turn your full concentrated attention toward the light. Deliberately call up the feeling of the desired state. Use visualization. See yourself acting with unwavering courage. Feel the calm of profound peace, saturating every cell of your being. This is not about pretending. It is about consciously changing your own vibration. Like tuning a string on an instrument, you hold the mental image and feeling until your entire being resonates with this new higher frequency. It is an art that requires practice, a muscle of the soul that grows stronger with every use. Next, you must learn to become a conscious cause, escaping the passive existence of being a mere effect. Look at the circumstances of your life, not as random events, but as the harvest of seeds you have sown, whether consciously or unconsciously. When an undesirable effect appears, do not blame fate. Instead, practice the discipline of tracing the cause. What deep-seated belief, what habitual thought pattern, what unconscious fear led to this result? This ruthless self-inquiry is the beginning of mastery. Then, choose the new effect you wish to create in your life. With this clear, use the principle of gender. Your conscious will is the masculine principle. It must plant a clear seed, a firm, unwavering intention. Once this cause is set in motion, you must then trust the feminine principle, your subconscious mind, to gestate it. This means you must nurture it with faith, water it with feelings of expectation, and weed out the doubts that would choke its growth. You act as if it is already done, aligning your energy with the cause you have initiated. You do not dictate the how or the when. You simply hold the pole of cause and allow the law to deliver the effect. This transforms you from a pawn of circumstance into a player in the grand game of life. Through these practices, the universe ceases to be something that happens to you and becomes something that responds through you. We began our journey with a question. What if the universe was a single, living mind? We have traveled back to the legendary origins of this thought, to Hermes, the scribe of the gods. We have held the 7 master keys in our hands, each one unlocking a deeper layer of reality. We have seen that the universe is indeed mental, a grand dream of the all. We have learned that the world above reflects the world below, that everything vibrates with life, and that opposites are but 2 sides of a single truth. We have felt the cosmic rhythm in the pendulum swing, traced the unbreakable chain of cause and effect, and witnessed the sacred dance of masculine and feminine energy that births all of creation. This is the profound wisdom of the Hermetic tradition. But these are not just secrets to be known. They are truths to be lived. The ultimate purpose of this knowledge is not to fill your mind with fantastic ideas, but to empower you to become the master of your own inner world. It is the realization that the universe is not outside of you. The entire cosmos, with all of its laws and all of its power, exists within your own consciousness. The alchemical furnace is your mind. The lead to be transmuted is your own fear and limitation. The philosopher's stone is the awakened self that knows its own divine nature. You are not a pawn moved by invisible forces. You are a center of causation, a conscious will in the mind of the all. So we leave you with this final thought. The greatest mystery is not out there amongst the stars, but within the silent depths of your own awareness. Do not simply believe what you have heard. Put it to the test. Choose one principle this week and observe how it manifests in your life. Try the art of mental transmutation the next time a wave of negativity washes over you. The Emerald Tablet is not just a relic of the past, it is a living map, and the treasure it leads to is you. Look within. The journey has just begun.